We are back in Korea for round 5 of the Asia Rugby Championship here at beautiful Yesan Stadium. This crucial round 5 match between Hong Kong and hosts Korea. Hong Kong coming off a 19-0 loss to Japan in Hong Kong just 2 weeks ago. Jed, not a big score, but a lot of rugby played in a little bit of rain.
Yeah, tricky conditions, I think, for both teams, and certainly for Japan, a squad with less than 100 caps taking on a squad with over 300 caps. And probably the disappointing thing is that on paper it looked like a fair performance by Hong Kong, but 5 scoring opportunities and they weren't able to convert one of them. So it was a tough day for Hong Kong, and probably to swallow a bitter pill with not coming away with any points. And
for the South Koreans, Jed, they opened their championship with a home loss to Japan, but scored 5 tries that day, going down 47-29, getting the crucial bonus point. They then went into round 2 and got 2 more tries against Japan, but faced a backlash, and Jamie Joseph's men put on a big 80-10 victory there at Chichibu again. So the Koreans have scored 7 tries against Japan. We should be expecting some more open running rugby from them tomorrow.
I would expect so. I mean, the great thing is, as you point out, Korea's obviously got the attacking ability. We know that they've got an explosive back line, and the forwards, when they get going, they don't mind coming off the line and getting in the mix. Probably the positive thing about the Koreans is that they're not easy to shake, and Hong Kong will be trying to put them off script, but it'll be a tough ask. I think in the opening game they kind of bushwhacked Japan. But then, Jamie Joseph came along, and with his non-negotiables sort of policy, next thing you know, there's 8 changes and there's 70 points is the difference.
So in this penultimate match of the 2017 Asia Rugby Championship, teams ranked 26 and 27 on the ladder. You don't come any closer than that. 2 very experienced coaches. Johnny Walters has coached Hong Kong about 10 years ago. What's it going to take for the Koreans to finally turn Hong Kong over here at home?
Well, first of all, I think they've got to believe they've got the hardware to do it. And we've seen on occasions in the first 2 games against Japan, Korea's forward pack were able to, really light it up against a much stronger opposition. So if they can sustain that performance through the majority of the match and not just get parity, but actually dominate Hong Kong in the tight 5. And it's the old adage, it all begins up front, Boozer. Everybody says it, everybody knows it. But it's the team that can actually go out and make that happen.
And for Hong Kong, they come here off 2 losses, Jed, no bonus points. There's got to be some real concentration, some focus. Who are going to be the key players, do you think? You've mentioned Matt Rosley, Dylan Rogers, Jamie Hood at fullback, maybe Addy Griffiths, and of course the all-important back row.
Well, really interesting to see the selection of Jamie Hood at fullback. But he is such a superb player for Hong Kong. He really, every time he steps out there in the national colours, he puts his best foot forward. I like the decision to play him at fullback. It's good to have him on the park. They need that experience and seniority out there. He's very good at closing gaps, and he understands defensive patterns very well. Committed defender, and he does have enough under the hood to actually get himself into a gap and cause some problems. And we all know how good his passing skills can be. So an interesting selection out the back, but one that makes, and the bigger picture, makes a lot of sense for Hong Kong. They need to really stick to task up front, and the likes of Adrian Griffiths and Matt Lamming and names like that, they need to go in. It has to be a full 80 performance from Hong Kong. I think if they fall off task a little bit, then they really do have a problem with Korea's ability to explode into the gap and make it from one end to the other.
So there we have it. The scene is set here for round 5 at Yesan Stadium. Hong Kong take on Korea at home. Should be a big match, should be a close one with a lot at stake. Join us then.